Hello, welcome to your weekly update. You can always find the updates archive, by the way, by just Googling MAGFAST updates like this, and you'll get, excuse me, zooming in here. Yeah, magfast.com/updates. Let's just go in here, cause I want to do an update on an update this week. There's Christo from last week. This one here, Rising Air, update number 83. This is one of my most popular updates ever, because we figured out a radical improvement to the design of MAGFAST Air. Here's the update. I'm just going to play it a little bit quietly in the background while I chat to you here. What you may remember is, let me zoom in a little bit here. And by the way, I know the perspective on this is a bit odd. I'll talk to you about that in just a second. But what you may remember is that we found a new clever geometry for air here. Whoop. Maybe I'll pause it because I'm going a bit nuts there, aren't I? Okay, let's pause it there. Yeah, so if you look at this shape for air here, this new shape allowed us to have it work as follows. On top of wall, you'd still get the same kind of fairly upright thing. Because remember, there's an actual, this is called MAGFAST wall down here, but there's an actual physical brick wall in your house here. All right, so it can't lean back too far. But it can lean back sufficiently. Remember, your phone is up against the wall, so it's protected by the wall. But we figured we could get a better lean when on the stand and when on the battery block. MAGFAST Life Extreme, and so on. When it's sitting on your desk, when it's sitting on a surface. This was one of the most popular updates we ever did. We got an incredible amount of positive feedback from you guys. I don't think I think one person said, "Oh, I'll lose the stand." You know what, sir? If you lose the stand, get in touch with us. We'll look after you. I don't think you will, though, because it's really neat. It snaps on the bottom here magnetically, and then when you don't want it, you just put it right on the back here for storage. So 3 use cases. One on top of MAGFAST wall. The other is on its stand with a cable going out of the back. You'll see in a minute we've now got one of the upgrades we've done is to add USB-C to the back, so you can use, if you've got a newer USB-C cable, you can use that. If you have an older micro, you can use that. And then the third case is like this, of course, with MAGFAST Air or one of the other power banks on the back. And what we realized was, and this is one of these things that it's like as soon as you hear it, as soon as you realize it, you slap your forehead and can't believe that you didn't think of it before. Because we realized that there is a fourth case that we hadn't thought of, and none of you guys pointed out when we sent out the update, which is that you have the stand and a power bank on the back. Hello? It's completely obvious, isn't it? Oh, I tell you what, I just want to point something out. I know this looks a little bit odd, the perspective looks odd, so let's just jump over here and talk about perspective for a second. This is an example of the perspective looking really, really weird. And the reason for this is because engineers, when they work on this stuff, when they work in 3D programming, they like to use, I think it's called isometric perspective, where things that are the same length, like here to here, is obviously in real life the same length as here to here. And they like to display it the same length on the screen, which is not how your eyes see it. Your eyes see it like this, okay, where the thing that's further away is shorter. This is what your eyes are used to seeing. So I'm going to show you this model the way you and I are used to looking at it, but just understand that some of the pictures we're going to see today are isometric and therefore they look a bit odd. I also need to point out, some people watching this have already opened an email and are starting to type. It's going to be beautiful alpine white, glossy alpine white. The reason for these bright colors is, again, because the engineers, in order to help them see the different parts and put these bright colors on to show, like here's the rubberized area here for grip, and here these will actually be the same. This will look, you won't probably even see this line unless you look really closely. So these will both be glossy white, but it'll be two separate parts coming out of the mold. Anyway, this came back. This is fully engineered based on the rough that we were looking at together a few weeks ago, and is designed. You can see with the mold breaks and everything. And if you take it apart, inside there's all kind of electronics and so on. But it is the first time that we've had the design back. And as we looked at it, we had a couple of comments. We felt that this was too thin along the back there and would kind of feel a little bit cheap and so on. We also thought, you know what, we want to make it easier to get off. So we decided to shorten this ever so slightly. And then the other thing was, remember, let's come back here. Remember the point about this case that we think will be quite common, because if you have it on your desk and then you slip the power bank on the back, you know, this will be the most stable, won't it? More stable than just this, or just this will be to have both of them, even more stable, I should say. But we didn't have the geometry right previously. If you see where we are here down the bottom, previously there would have been a tiny little gap opening up. Come along here. There would have been a tiny little gap opening up along here. So we had to play, and this stuff is easy to say, but my God, it takes hours to get it right. We had to play with every single angle. This angle here, and this angle here, and this one here, and the curve here, and lots and lots, hours of work just tweaking this. Looks exactly the same to you and me, but the geometry is completely different. This is a note. This is one of these. We often do these sort of decks in order to communicate backwards and forwards with. Communicate backwards and forwards with the factory. And here we're just noting the thin rubberized base that goes all the way along the bottom there. What else have we got in here? Oh, this is fascinating. I don't know about you, but before I got involved in invention and manufacturing and stuff, I always thought that LEDs. You remember the LED? Let me just show you. Hang on. LEDs, nice on the front here. We're going to make sure that it's not disturbing when you use it at night. A lot of these have these ridiculously bright lights, but it's actually a requirement for the Wireless Power Consortium, the Qi people. Having an LED is actually a requirement, so that's why we've got it there. But it's achieved by doing this, by having circuit boards inside and then channeling the light up to the front, which will be true of many of the items you've got. That the light is not where you think it is. It's not on the surface there. It's deep down inside the equipment. I'm just remembering an old radio that I had when it was like a war era radio that my family had, that I used to play with and take apart and ruin, frankly, when I was a kid. And it had something similar that was an old valve inside and then a way of getting the light up to the front. All right, so yes, we love the LED in that position, absolutely perfect. Here you can see a couple of the magnets. Here's the one in the base, here's the one in air. And these ones at the front are particularly important for this when you've got the leaning back going on, right? Because there's a backwards torque, isn't there? Pulling it back this way, and so the magnets need to be nice and strong at the front there. And then the other thing that's really important we've done here is the finger scoops make it much easier to remove the stand from the back. So again, very simple, just a nice, elegant, smooth scoop here. It matches the feel of the scoops that we've got in various other places in the MAGFAST system. And then you'll be able to just pop your finger under there to get it off. And then having done that, we put this in the diagram, which is just reminding us that the little magnets that hold the back in place need to be beautifully aligned like that. They need to be small so as it snaps into position. But we were just concerned that you might snap it on and it would be off by a millimeter and you'd be fiddling around to get it looking neat. So we've also added a mechanical element to make sure that it snaps nicely into place. And I think I have that, yeah, here. Sorry, this is a bit grainy, this image. But you can see here, here's the base, right? The stand, translucent in this image, obviously. And look, we've got these little bumps here. And I apologize, these will be beautiful. They're not. It doesn't look so good in this picture because it's so grainy and kind of like the lighting is harsh. But there'll be these lovely smooth scoops here, delicious. And then a sort of matching bump on here. So at the back of this will look gorgeous, and you can see there's matching scoops in the bottom of the stand. So when you push it on here, the magnets will pull it in, but this will make sure that it lines up. We think absolutely perfectly. So I think that was all I wanted to. Oh no, one more thing. Extreme, I think I've mentioned this, I'm not sure if I've shown it to you before, but Extreme has grown quite a bit in size. Remember, this is the one that's designed to give you the maximum power you can take on a plane, enough power to jumpstart your car. And I mentioned the other week that the batteries needed to jumpstart your car, the cells needed to jumpstart your car are just bigger in volume than regular ones. So in order to meet all of this performance, the envelope, the size of the thing, has gotten bigger. It's now 166 millimeters long with a kind of bulky bit on it. But man, this I have to say it's bigger than we thought. But I always said this product is a beast, and a beast it is. I feel very excited about it. But here it is on the back of Air. And I was saying all the work we did on the geometry in here, and one of the reasons was so that if you put Extreme on the back, look, the stand may not be long enough to extend underneath it. It could never be, but it'll touch the ground here. Right. So these are just the kind of little details that we feel are all about making this thing delightful for the next, 5 years. I don't know. I think those of you who, I think that you, as someone who really understands this project, understand the kind of approach that we're taking to that. So now, if I go to here, what you can see is on the back of Air, you can either put one Extreme, which will be on the stand and then touching the table here, or you can put one or two of MAGFAST Life or Time, because they're both square. So it becomes even more Lego-like, right? Like two squares make up a longer block. Oh, and this I thought you might just enjoy seeing. This is again, it's a little bit rough. You can see we recorded this off of the screen, but I just thought that you'd enjoy seeing this. So this is, you can see where we are here, right? Here's the stand on the back. This is slicing through. Ooh, do you see that? To see how everything is inside. And this is us checking. Oh, you go all the way up to the end there. All right. This is us checking. Ooh, you get seasick just watching it. This is us checking here. This is the new location system that I just showed you to make sure that it sits perfectly on the back. So here's the scoop that's in the stand, and here's the bump that's on the back. And here we are just checking. Can I scrub it like this? Yeah. Checking that everything clears everything. So as you go in, the first thing you get is a magnet in here. Right, because you can't have a scoop and a magnet in the same place, right? Otherwise, the magnet would be in the middle of the scoop. So we go through. The magnet is done, right? Magnet is done, and only then does the scoop start. It's kind of amazing, this software, isn't it? The way you can just slice backwards and forwards like this. So that's it. I just thought you'd like to see some of these diagrams. I think they're pretty exciting to work with. I was thrilled when this one came in. Look, there's the Let's just do this and see if I can do a. Can I do a zoom? No. Very difficult to control this thing. But here you can see on the back we've got both micro USB and USB-C, and the reason for that is we're very anti-cable. At MAGFAST, we think the world doesn't need more and more and more cables being made, even though our team over in Shenzhen actually own a cable factory and we love them. They do great work. But apart from our little built-in cables, we're trying to minimize the number of cables. That's what MAGFAST is all about. But if you want to put this on your desk, we want to be able to use whatever cable you've got, because we're not shipping cables. So you can either use your old micro. Everyone's got dozens of those in drawers. Or you can use your USB-C. All right, enough of me chit-chatting. There it goes, all nice and white for a second. This has been your weekly update. Thank you so much. Questions, comments, concerns, love to hello@magfast.com. Hello@magfast.com. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really could not do this without you. And we love getting your feedback and your thoughts and your ideas. And I promise you we're going to ship the best chargers ever, or die trying.